my introduction. So my name is Amol Uzagare. I am from and I am from Pune, Maharashtra. Okay. I have completed my engineering, that is BE in IT, Information Technology, from PICT, that is Pune Institute of Computer Technology, PICT, Pune. Okay, in 2010, and after that, I worked for around 7+ years in IT industry as QA member as well as manager. Okay, and in my early career I used to take classes along with the job as well, but now I'm completely or fully taking the classes. Now I'm taking classes full time. Okay, so today I'll be training, from today we'll be starting the training on Selenium plus Cucumber with Java. Okay, so Selenium plus Cucumber with Java. So soon I'll be discussing with you what are the topics that we are going to learn in this course. Before that, uh, you know, this Selenium is an automation testing tool used to test the softwares. Okay, so any automation testing tool is, when I say it is used to test a software, so I hope all of you are having uh, the software testing background. So in the chat, can you quickly tell me the definition of a software testing? Yes. So just to ensure that these sessions are going to be interactive one, right? So it will not be like that I'll be talking continuously and you will be just listening. We will be having some interaction in between the sessions. I'll be asking few questions. I'll be also taking your queries, because if you want to listen the one-way session, so for that you have several videos already available, right? So this is a live training. So in that we are going to interact with each other. So just to ensure, let please answer my first question, that is, what is software testing? Just for having beginning. Yes, anybody? What is software testing, or why do we test software? Yes, anybody? I hope all of you are from software testing background, and I have asked very simple question. What is the software testing and why we, what is the need of software testing? Yes? No one? Okay, so Dikshit is saying to perform the suitable output. Okay, anything else? Ashwini, to find the quality of the software product. Good. Yes, anyone else? Okay, let it be. So you might have heard software testing definition from different sources in different way, and let it be that. But just understand, here we are going to learn automation testing. So first, basically, we need to understand what is the difference between manual testing and automation testing. For example, just look at this. I have this web page. Let's say this is a login page. Simple. Let's say yes. So this is a login page, and here, if I want to test this web page, I'll open a browser. I'll enter the URL and I'll enter some username and password. Let's say I'm entering some wrong username and password and I'm hitting on the login button, and I should get the error message, which I'm getting. So my test is passed. Okay, Monica said to find out the errors and bugs in software. Yes, that's right. Thank you, Monica. So So yes, so we are talking about this. So this is a login page wherein I have entered correct username and correct passwords, and sorry, incorrect username and incorrect password, and I got the error message which was expected. And my expectation meets the actual results, right? And I compare that my expectation is exactly equal to the actual result, and hence my test is passed. Now this activity I have done manually. I have manually opened the browser, I have manually entered the URL, I have manually entered the username and password, and I have manually clicked on this login button, and I have manually observed that whether my expected result matches the actual result. So this is the manual testing that many of us are doing till now. Now we are going to shift to the automation testing, or we are going to learn the automation testing, right? So so the automation testing will be something similar to the manual testing, only there will be a less human interactions. You are going to do something and because of that, what is going to happen is that automatically the browser is going to open, automatically the URL is going to enter, automatically the username password is going to enter, and the click on the login will be going to happen. And not only that, somebody will be comparing the expected result and actual result on behalf of you automatically without your intervention. And how this is going to happen, that we are going to learn in automation testing. Okay, so yes, so before we move to the course content, let's just have some discussion on software. So my first question to you is, how many types of softwares are there? Okay, so anybody in the chat? Yes, anybody in the chat? How many types of softwares are there? Do you know any? Can you classify the software types? Or better, let me ask you the question in this way. Can you classify the softwares? Yes. Can you classify the softwares? We are going to do the software testings. So we must be able to classify the softwares. Yes, anybody? In your own way. Two. Okay, Akshita is saying two. Okay, what are those? Three. Okay, Abhishek is saying three. So can you list them out? So if it is two, then what are those? And if it is three, then what are those? Right? How many types of softwares are there? So Akshita, Abhishek, okay, application and system. Okay. Uh, any other answer? Akshita is saying application and system. System, application, and related with programming. Okay, system and application. System testing operation. Okay, you are going in so much technical details. So actually, it is simple, right? So softwares are basically generally we say it is of two types. So one is web based. Actually, I wanted the classification in this way. So thank you for your replies. You all replied very well. So thank you for that. So actually, I was expecting this. So the softwares are of two categories. One is web based, and second one is window based. Actually, we are going to start from this web based and window based software. And there is also a third category, uh, window based but online. Okay, so I'll be classifying the softwares in this way: web based softwares and window based softwares. And there will be a window based but online. Okay, uh, window based softwares. Can you list some window based softwares? Let's start from window based softwares. Yes, any window based softwares, can you list them? Yes, whatever. We all are working on Windows. Some of us might be working on Linux or Mac, but we all are interacting with Windows-based software daily on daily basis. Any applications which contains the domain, no, actually, Abhishek, actually domain means www.somedomain.com. So that is actually a web-based application. Okay, don't worry. So let me just show you some examples of Windows-based software. So there are lots of softwares we have in Windows. Okay, might be this media player. This is a Windows-based application, right? This PDF reader. This is again, this is a Windows-based application, isn't it? Okay. Then uh, we have, let's say, um okay, I have this software. It is called Audacity. Actually, sometimes I use it. Let me just open it. You know what this software is? It is purely Windows-based software. And what I can do is I can add MP3 file in that, and I can convert, or I can change its sound, or I can add some effect into that. Right? So this is a Audacity software, right? And its functionality is something like that. If I can only add the uh, audio files into it. If I try to add some other files, so it gives me error. Okay, so this is actually the functionality of this particular Windows-based software, that it allows me to add only the music files or audio files, and it should give me an error if I try to add any other file other than music file. Okay, so let me just close this. And this was expected, and it is behaving exactly as per my requirement. Okay, so this is actually a window-based software, and web-based softwares are, so you might have known, this is Amazon.in, right? So many people we know, when many people actually um, use this website daily. So there are this is actually an e-commerce website. You can navigate through different links, and you can buy something from here, right? So this is actually a web-based application. You also have to create your user, and you can see your order list and all that. Okay, then Flipkart is there. It is a similar software, web-based application. Any other web-based application? Yes, one I've told, Amazon.in. Any other web application? Can you tell me? Yes, in the chat. Gmail. Monica says Gmail. Okay, very good. Any other? Swiggy, Facebook. Good, very good. Yes, that's good. So, so now I'm going to show you a third category of a software. Okay, so the third category of a software is window-based but online. Okay, sometimes the softwares are window-based, but its data comes from online. Have you heard about the Amazon Music or Bank Music? So we have exe file. Specifically, if you're working on Windows, you can download its executable on your Windows, and you can play the songs, but those songs are not there on your machine. The data is coming from online. Okay, so good, Abhishek. Abhishek is saying Snapdeal. That's its that's correct answer. Okay, so Amazon Music, you can play the music in that, but that those songs are not there in your machine. So data comes from online. One more application I have there in my machine. This is, let's say, this is a banking application. Let's say Bank of Maharashtra, or some application. Banking applications are now very much secured, right? So you have to install it on your machine. Fine. So the banking application, when I log in into it from my desktop application, I get all my bank details, right? My account details and my balance details and all that, right? So although this application is installed on my desktop or my machine, the data is coming from online, of course. Okay, so this is the third category of a software. Okay, so web-based, window-based, and window-based but online. Okay, so why I'm discussing with you that, because we are going to learn Selenium, right? And Selenium, or using Selenium, we can test only web-based applications, right? So using Selenium is actually designed in such a way that you can test only the web-based application. Fine. So we are going to focus on web-based application. What are the web-based application? Those open in the browser, right? So this is not a web-based application. We cannot test this using Selenium. Again, this is not a web-based application. We cannot test it using Selenium. But yes, we can test this application using Selenium, or whatever the application you told, that is Swiggy or Facebook or Snapdeal, whatever. Fine. So now, what we are going to learn in what is this course content, right? So let me just show you the course content. Scriptinglogic.org. Here it is. So yes, here is the course content. Yes. So yes, so we are going to learn a few programming concepts as well. That is core Java. We'll be learning Selenium. By the way, Selenium can be implemented in few different languages as well, like C hash, then Python, then Ruby, right? JavaScript as well. So, but we are going to learn the Selenium through Java. Okay, and remember, friends, in order to enter into automation testing field, you just don't have to be very much expert in programming, right? Just basic knowledge is enough, right? And whatever things that we are going to implement here, and also there will be some homeworks for you also every day. So based on the assignment that we are doing today, we are doing in the class, as well as that you will be doing in the homework, so that will make you, or that will bring you enough confidence to implement the automation. So let's just read out what are the topics are there in the core Java. So first we are going to see how to set up the Java and its introduction. Then we are going to see the first Java program, that is how to print hello world, like that. Then we have control structure, if else. Then we have loops in Java, strings in Java, date in Java. Then these are few object oriented concepts like what is class and constructor and all that. Fine. Polymorphism, static and final keyword, super keyword. So these are the object oriented concept that we are going to learn. Okay, abstract class and interfaces are also there. Also, we are going to learn, for learning this JDBC, we are going to learn MySQL as well, right? So MySQL, for database testing, we will need MySQL. We will need the knowledge of queries uh, from MySQL. Okay. So has anybody done database testing, or uh, do we have somebody who is doing database testing in his or her day-to-day work? Yes. Are you doing database testing, or have you tried sometimes database testing? No? Fine. So don't worry. We'll be learning how to test database using manual way, as well as through automation as well, right? So actually database testing is done because you see, there is a add user page, and you try to insert something into it, and upon doing, or upon hitting the submit button, the data gets stored into the particular database or the table. So sometimes what happens is that you get the message like record added successfully, but inside the database it doesn't, it is not inserted, right? So using database testing, we actually test that. So how to do that, that is actually the part of testing. But before that, we need to learn this JDBC, and for that we are going to learn few queries in MySQL as well. Okay, also there are few more topics like exception handling, then collection we have. Fine. So these are few topics from core Java. Fine. And we'll have then once we complete this core Java, I'll make sure that you understand each and everything, right? So I'll be showing you each and everything in front of you from very basic, from very scratch. Each and every program I'll be creating from scratch, right? I'm not going to show you any already created program. So I'll be creating every program in front of you. Fine. Then in the Selenium, we are going to learn few introductory part, that is why the name Selenium, then what is the difference between Selenium and UFT, then why we cannot test the captcha. Okay, so then setting up Selenium project. Okay, so we have to set the Selenium project. So friends, when we hear that Selenium is a tool, or sometimes or many times we hear this is a tool, means this is a Selenium is a tool, that is a tool. So when we hear the word tool, something comes into our mind that it should be something like a software and we will install it, right? And after installing we will have some buttons, we will learn those how to work, and we will record and playback. Okay, generally few automation softwares are like that, but in Selenium we are just going to write simply a Java code, plain Java code. Okay, so although it is a tool, but we are going to write a code in Java, might be in Eclipse or in IntelliJ IDEA. So that code, when we will run, will help us to do the things automatically. For example, opening this browser, opening the URL, then entering username and password, clicking on login button and verify the expected and actual result. So that we are going to do in the form of code, and we are going to run that code. Okay, so to create that kind of a project, we have some setup, just like a normal project we have to create, and the few jar files that we need to add, and how to do that we are going to learn in setting up Selenium project. Then after that we will have some Selenium basic methods. So basic methods will be quite like how to open a browser, then how to enter URL, how to maximize it, how to close the browser, so like that. So those will be the Selenium basic methods. Then we will have locators in Selenium, then operations on HTML element. Actually, these two topics will be related to each other. So what is locator actually? So if suppose this is a web page and there are few web elements, the element present on the web page are actually web elements. So what we are going to do is with the help of locators we are going to find the web element, because there are two text boxes. How to find it? So we need to locate it on the web page. Actually we need to have some basic knowledge of HTML. Don't worry, even if you don't have, I'll be telling you the things time to time. Okay, so here I'm assuming that you guys have no prior knowledge of programming, so don't worry. I'm going to tell you or teach you each and everything from very basic, very scratch, right? So for example, here this particular text box is having this kind of HTML code, and it has some ID, some name, right? So these are the locators. Using the ID or name, we are going to locate this particular web element. Okay, and subsequently the other web elements also can be located using ID, name, and there are some other locators as well. XPath is also one of the locator. Okay, that we are going to have few sessions on XPath. Then we have weights in Selenium. So weights actually helps us uh, uh, if suppose this is a web page and I'm clicking on some part of it, and it is loading, right? So it takes some time. Actually this loaded very quickly, but sometimes it takes some time to appear some web elements here in front of us, right? So if suppose your code is expecting to do or some interaction on some particular web element, and if suppose due to the loading time, or if it is not loaded properly, and that your program don't find that particular web element, then it throws some exception or error that no such element or element not found, right? So to avoid that, we have weights in Selenium. So weights are of different types, like um, implicit weight, explicit weight, fluent weight is also there, right? So these are few essential part from the Selenium. Then we are going to learn a few basic what we can say framework. These are the small frameworks like JUnit and TestNG. Using JUnit and TestNG, we can modularize our tests, right? So we can have different set of tests and we can execute them sequentially. Also, the assert will be there in the JUnit and TestNG. So assert is actually going to help us to compare the expected result with actual result. Okay, so because you see, just opening a browser and entering something into it and just automating the scenario will not help you. So that is not actually a testing. So testing, we say that we are doing testing only if when we compare the expected result with actual result, right? So when we compare expected result with actual result, then only we say that we have tested that particular thing, right? So the asserts are going to help us in that. Fine. Then we have several more topics into the Selenium. For example, reporting part is also important thing. So if you find a bug, you have to report it. So we have so many automated reports, right? Out of them, we are going to learn HTML report, that is emailable report, then reports by report ng, then extend report, right? Also, we'll be learning how to take screenshots of your bugs and how to embed that screenshot into your report and how to send that report to your developer or your manager, right? So these are the things. Also, there are few more miscellaneous things, or some let's say selecting a date from a calendar, and there are mouse handling events as well. JavaScript executor is also there. Data provider. So we are going to learn three most important frameworks, that is provider, that is data driven framework, keyword driven framework, and page object model. Apart from that, there are several other topics also there that we'll be covering, like opening a new tab in browser, then how to scroll in Selenium, then how to upload a file, pop-ups and alerts. So there are so many other things that will be covered also, but just look at this. So there are few frameworks. So data driven frameworks. So using data driven framework, we can put the data into Excel sheet and we can provide that data to particular web page. For example, let's suppose this is a login page. Okay, so here is the login page, and if suppose I have several test cases, test case is same but data is different. Okay, for example, in my one test case I have valid username password data set. In another test I have invalid username password. In another test I have blank username password. In another set I have some other set of valid username and password. So all of them I can put it into an Excel sheet and I can give that Excel sheet as input to the test, and the same single test will run for the multiple time for that particular input. Okay, fine. So this is what the data provider will be, and also there are few more frameworks like keyword driven framework, then page object model. So page object model is actually most popular in the industry. So um, we are going to create all the frameworks from very basic and scratch, and also I'll be showing you everything in front of you. Okay, so from very basic and from very scratch. Then there will be a Cucumber. Cucumber is again a framework rather than a technology. Cucumber is a framework, and actually Cucumber solves a problem of communication gap. Okay, what happens is that when you will start automation testing uh, in your might be in your current company, or might be when you will switch, when you will start coding the things, when you will start doing the testing in the form of code, in the form of scripts, sometimes what will happen that even after doing a lot of test coverage, client will find some bugs sometimes, and he will go to the manager or he will go to the concerned team of your company, and the corresponding people will come to you and they will ask you, so did you have a proper test coverage? Because client is complaining that he has found a bugs. And you will say, yes, of course, I've tested everything. These are my codes, so these are my tests, right? So your manager may not understand your script. He just understand what are the bugs. He just understand what are the steps. Sometimes he may be, but most of the times your manager not necessarily has a technical background, and he might not understand whatever scripts that you have written. So for that, we have a Gherkin syntax in Cucumber that you understand, your manager will understand, and also your program will understand. And how, that we are going to see in the Cucumber. Okay, so don't worry, everything I am going to simplify in such a way that each and everything you are going to understand. Fine. So these are the topics from the course content. Fine. So now let's start with the core Java. Let's begin few things from the core Java. So let's learn something that should be there before we start or before we begin with learning of the automation testing. That is setting up Java. Okay. So you must have Java installed on your machine. By the way, actually I am explaining on Windows. So do we have anybody who is having operating system other than Windows? Yes, other than Windows, like Linux. Okay, no. Okay, so everybody is having Windows. Yes, fine. So even if you have any other operating system, don't worry. Java is platform independent, and so the Selenium is as well. So whatever we are going to do on Windows, exactly the same way we will have on other operating system as well. Just the first initial part that we are going to learn on the command prompt, that will be quite different on some other operating system. Just in case anybody has some other operating system, just let me or you can reach to me in case there are some issues. So I can directly interact with them and we will resolve those. Fine. So I assume that now we have the operating system as Windows. So what you can do is you can download the Java setup from Google. Okay, you can rely on Google. So download, say, Java, or better you download JDK 1.8. So 1.8 is quite a stable version. So you can download the JDK from the Oracle is the owner of Java now. So you can download the JDK 1.8 from here, right? Just in case if you find any difficulty for finding the actual setup, then you can email me the same email ID with which you got the invitation for this meeting, right? You can email me and I'll send you the direct setup. You should have JDK 1.8 installed on your machine. So let me just list out the things that you need to be installed. So install, let's say, JDK 1.8. Okay, that is Java. Okay, by the way, in order to uh, continue with this softwares, there should be some minimum system configuration. I believe it should be just 2 requirements, not much, and I think everybody will have. And even if you don't have this minimum requirement system configuration, then also the things will be done, but quite slightly there will be some performance or some low performance. Okay, so minimum configuration is RAM must be 4 GB or above. Okay, so it's okay. Even if you have 2 GB RAM, that's also fine, but things will be quite slower. Okay, but it's better if you have RAM 4 GB and above, and you should have operating system, any operating system you can have, but operating system must be 64-bit, so it would be better. Don't worry. Okay, Dikshita is saying that I have JDK 14.0. Okay, it's fine, Dikshita. That's okay. That's not an issue. But 1.8 is quite a stable one. Don't uninstall it. You can continue with that as well. So, but those who don't have installed Java in advance, so I'll um, suggest them to have JDK 1.8, right? So then then okay, so this is the minimum system requirement, and even if you have 32-bit there will be no issue. It's not necessary today only you have to format your system. Just after few days, if you find difficulties, or you will came across few things when we will start programming. At least for learning Java it is not necessary to have these minimum requirement. When we will start learning Selenium, then in case if you face some issues, then only you have to check with your configuration, or you can reach to me. You have my email ID, you have my contact number. You can reach to me and we will see what to do. Okay, but it's good if you have this configuration, that is 4 GB RAM, and operating system should be 64-bit. Now how to see what is my RAM and what is the operating system? So you can go to my computer, and here you will find either this PC, right click and say property, or some people might have here my computer if your operating system is Windows. So here you will see right click and properties. So here you will see the installed memory will be I have 8 GB of RAM, and system type is 64-bit. So here you can see what is your RAM and what is the system type, right? 64-bit is recommended. Fine. So now I have already downloaded and installed the Java into my machine. So when you will install it, you will see the Java folder here into your program files, C drive program files. Okay, so here it is. So JDK 1.8, this is the folder and this is the path of the folder JDK 1.8. Let me show you once again. So my computer, C drive, then program files, then Java, up to this. So next step is set up the environment variables. Okay, so set up, this is important step, set up the environment variables. Okay, so set up the environment variables. So how to do that? So you see I have reached to the JDK folder. So just open this Java folder and just take the path. No, sorry, you have to go to the JDK folder and you have to take the path till the JDK and copy it. And now you right click on your computer or this PC, say properties, and click on the advanced system setting. Here there is environment variable. You click on this and say new, and you have to type like this, Java, or in the small letters. So Java, why it is, let's say Java, yes, in the caps lock, Java home, and copy the path up to JDK and say OK. So I will not say OK because I will already set it, right? So here it is, here is my Java home path. Okay, and after that you have to do one more thing. You have to find the path variable here. You have to double click on it and say semicolon after the last statement and paste it here, and after that put slash and say bin, bin, in the small letters, bin, and say OK. Okay, so now I will not say OK because I have already said this. I'll say cancel. Okay, and say OK, 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 and your environment variable will be set, and it will be quite like this. If you want to confirm whether your environment variable is set properly or not, you can go to the command prompt. So let me show how to open a command prompt. Either you can go from Windows, so CMD you can search on the Windows, or you can press Windows R and say CMD, hit enter. Okay, and here you have to put one command, so Java C. Okay, so in case if you have properly set your environment variable, so you will see some commands like this. And if in case if you have not properly set the environment variable, so you will see error like this, so Java C is not recognized as internal or external command. Okay, so there will be error like this. Fine. So once you are done with this, we are all set. So Java is set in into our machine. Okay, and after that uh, we need to install few more things. That is, let's say install either Eclipse or IntelliJ IDEA. I'll be preferring IntelliJ IDEA. I will show you both the download links. So IntelliJ IDEA. Okay, so either Eclipse or IntelliJ IDEA. So Eclipse you can download it from Google. So say download Eclipse and you'll get the standard link. So go to the official website of Eclipse and download from that. Okay, and you'll be able to install it. Say next it will be installed. But before that, once you will download, there will be few options, and out of which first stage is actually selection of the type of the Eclipse and choose developers, Eclipse for developers. There will be Eclipse for testers as well. Don't worry, don't think that we are testers, so we should download Eclipse for testers. So download Eclipse for developers only. Developers. Okay, so download Eclipse for developer. Okay, or install Eclipse for developer. Installation is again a simple thing. Say next, it will be installed. Okay, so I have already installed it, so I'm not downloading it and installing it. So then we have IntelliJ IDEA. So in both the editors we can do the we can write the programs. Yes, so I have a question here by Monica. So sir, what is the difference between Eclipse and IntelliJ IDEA? Good question. Okay, so both the tools are used to write Java programs. IntelliJ IDEA is having actually when you start using IntelliJ IDEA, it actually gives the suggestions quite faster, right? And so let me just list few points. So Eclipse is actually completely free, and IntelliJ IDEA has free community edition, but its enterprise version is paid. But don't worry, you can use it fully with free of cost. Enterprise version is not free. Then this is the first point, and then uh, it is quite faster. You get suggestions very fast. So you get suggestions very fast here. So if you're using IntelliJ IDEA, you just need to keep the concept of your programming or whatever things you are willing to automate, and I'm sure that there will be very less chances of you making syntax error. Okay, so this is actually the difference between IntelliJ IDEA and Eclipse. You got this? Fine. So now let's see from where to download this IntelliJ IDEA. So go to the Google and say IntelliJ IDEA. Okay, hit enter. So again, this is the standard website of IntelliJ IDEA, jetbrains.com. You can go to the website and click on download. Here you will find two download links. One is ultimate, one is community. Don't download this ultimate edition because it is free for 30 days and after that it will not run. Right, download this community edition. This is free for lifetime. You can download it, it's open source. You can download it, setup, say next, 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 and it will be installed. So I have already installed it, so I'm not downloading it for now. Right, so IntelliJ IDEA and Eclipse, these are the two tools that we are going to use while learning the programming as well as while doing the automation. Fine. So now when we will start learning it, so what will be the study material we have? So let me just list out the study material that you are going to have. So first thing is that actually every day, actually my style of teaching is I actually make this notepad and write something, just like in your school your teacher used to write on the blackboard or whiteboard. So actually I use this like that. So whatever I'm writing here, I'll be copying it and mailing to you after every class. So notepad or notes. So let's see how many ways you can have the study material available. So notepad, notes. Okay, so this will be one thing. Also sometimes I draw something in the paint, so drawings. Okay, in order to represent the things pictorially, I draw something, some diagrams I'll be drawing. It will be colorful diagrams, so drawings. So you will have some colorful drawings, right? So colorful drawings that I'll be sending you. Then we have some PPTs in PDF format. So that also I'll be sending you time to time. So as and when the particular topic, when I will encounter, I'll be sending you that particular PDF as well. Then we have my blog, that is scriptinglogic.com. Here there are some text tutorials. Okay, so let me just show you that. So you can go to the scriptinglogic.com and let's just see. So there are a few sections like software testing, then Java, then Selenium, right? So software testing is there, Selenium is there. There are several articles I have written here. Okay, C programming, Java. You can read from here as well. Also, I have some free ebooks here, so you can download it from here. You can directly go to the scriptinglogic.com and you can download the free ebooks on Selenium WebDriver and Cucumber Basics. It's free, right? Also, by the way, I am the author of this book, Practical Approach of Software Testing. It is actually available on Amazon. If you want, you can get this copy just to revise, just in case if you want to revise the manual testing. Its Kindle copy is also available on the Amazon. You can get it. And I have a YouTube channel as well. Okay, so youtube.com/Amol Uzagare. Many of you people might be aware of this, so many of you might have seen my videos as well. So here I post regularly at least 1 to 2 videos per week. All are related to software testing or automation testing, and I have a complete playlist of manual testing. In case if somebody want to revise manual testing, you can get that in the playlist section of my YouTube channel, and also I'll be sharing you the direct link of that as well. And in case if you come across any manual testing or a question related to manual testing, you can ask me that questions as well. Okay, so let me just put in the chat. So this is the actually direct link of, yes, so this is actually the direct link of the playlist, or don't worry, you can go to the channel and you can get this. Okay, so next is my YouTube channel. So few ebooks are also there, so ebooks, and physical book is also there. Then sixth one is my YouTube channel, that is youtube.com/Amol Uzagare. Okay, so this is the thing. And most important, daily recordings. You are going to have daily recordings. So you might have observed that while beginning the class, I have started with the recording. Okay, so whatever we are seeing here along with our interaction as well, so everything, it will be recorded here. Okay, so at the end of the day, and I'll be giving, or I will be uploading it somewhere, and you will have a private access to it, and you will have that access for the lifetime. So these daily recording, these video, you will be there with you for the lifetime. Okay, so just one thing is that, so the video is going to be there within 24 hours of the session. That is, before the next session you are going to have the video of it. Okay, so daily recording will be there, so it will be for a lifetime with you. Okay, next thing, you can also raise your query to me. You can raise your queries. You can raise your queries through chat. Sometimes we will have conversation as well, right, through chat. And you just in case, if you have or if your query is not properly addressed, you can directly contact me on WhatsApp. My contact on WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number you already have. Let me just give it once again: 9657852251. Okay, so this is my WhatsApp number. And also, if needed, you can call me also, so there is no issue. You can direct call me. Direct call. Okay, fine. So these are the way with the help of which you can learn, you can clear your doubts, right? So good. Okay, there is one query here. Abhishek is saying something. Can we also going to have and know the interview questions as well while having the every session? Yes, Abhishek. Time to time, as and when I'll encounter any specific topic, we are going to discuss the interview questions as well. And I'll be also telling you this, for this particular topic, what could be the interview question, or and how the things will be asked in the interviews. So don't worry about that. Okay, fine. So yes, sure. So yeah, so actually today we will stop here. If you have any queries, you can raise it in the chat. Actually it's actually about to the time is almost finished, but still, if you have any queries, I'll be happy to answer in the chat. Yes, anyone has any query about today's session, or if you want to ask anything? Yes, I have a query. Can we yes, we are going to create the Maven as well, right? So Maven is the must, right? So few projects later on, there are few frameworks that we are going to create in Maven as well. So right, we are going to create Maven as well. Yes, anything else? Course duration is 2 months. Okay, Monica, course duration is 2 months. Ideally it is 2 months, but uh, as per our understanding, it might it can be matlab, 10 to 15 days might be, more or less. Okay, but ideally the 2 months will be the range or course duration. And also hybrid framework. Yeah, there are several frameworks that we are going to learn. um, you see, in the industry, it is expected from you, at for it is expected from you to have at least one framework to be learned in depth, right? So it's okay. We are going to see several other frameworks as well, but you should prepare yourself for at least one framework in depth, right? So we are going to focus on page object model because it is quite popular, and the other frameworks also will be learning like keyword driven, then data driven, and also the hybrid as well. Okay, but generally you see in the industry it is very rare chance that you work on different frameworks, right? So generally for 2 to 3 years people work on a single framework. But yes, I'm not saying that people are not at all working on the different frameworks at a time, but probability is that you'll be working on the same framework at least for 1 or 2 years. Yes. When is the next session? Next session is tomorrow at 7:30. Just like today, tomorrow you'll get the email just like you got today, and we'll be joining just like today. Yes. Anything else you want to ask? Okay, so these sessions will be interactive one. So this will not be just a one-way session. I am talking something, and it will not be like that. I am not focusing on whether you are getting or not. So if you are not getting anything, I'll be stopping there and I'll be clearing your doubts, and then we will move further. Okay, fine, fine. So if you have any more doubt, you can reach to me on my WhatsApp. You also have my email ID. And still, if you have if you think your query is still not answered, you can have a direct conversation on me. You can call me directly on the given number. Okay, fine then. We will stop here today. Tomorrow we will meet on the same time. And give me some time. Tonight I'll be sending you the recording as well, and you will be able to revise the things that we have conducted today.